Welcome to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. Each month, we'll feature business and community leaders sharing their stories, initiatives, concerns, and passions. Learn practical information regarding community resources and opportunities. Now, the host of Business Voice, Greece Regional Chamber President and CEO, Sarah Lentini.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Lentini, and you're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by GRB, Genesee Regional Bank. We have a great show for you today with three terrific guests, actually four, but three terrific organizations that are being represented. The first is with me here in studio right now, Christina Breen-Hale, State Farm agent. Christina is a longstanding Greece Regional Chamber member and a sponsor of lots of our events, and importantly, the presenting sponsor this year of our 33rd Annual Community Awards. Welcome, Christina.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm so happy to be here.
It's wonderful that you're here. Now, Christina, you've got a very well-established insurance company based in Greece, based in the region. Can you tell us a little bit about how long you've been running Christina Breen-Hale State Farm Agency?
Absolutely. I've actually been an agent since 1995, which amazes me. Time goes by so fast.
Yeah, it does.
Started in the business in 1992 with my dad, God bless him. He started the State Farm office in 1963.
Wow.
The physical office that I'm in right now, 1977, he rehabbed a home.
Oh, wow.
And that was the best decision that they could have ever made because it's a great location, right next to Friendly's, across from Lowe's. A lot of traffic. We just have a real good time there.
And so what is the street that you're on?
It's West Ridge Road,
The main drag.
3093 West Ridge Road.
Perfect. Just in case people didn't know exactly where you were referencing. So West Ridge Road, the main drag right in Greece. And so you're in the same location that your dad put together, correct?
Yes. Unfortunately, he did pass away in 1997.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
But it's got to be, something fairly special to be carrying on the tradition of the work that he started, right?
It really is. It was hard to fill his shoes, but over the years, we've done it.
And how long did you work with him? A couple of years?
Yeah, about 3 years before I opened my own agency in Spencerport down the road.
Oh, really? Oh, so you originally were in Spencerport?
Yes, just right down the ridge.
Yeah.
Just moved a couple miles.
Yeah, it's all the same area. It's all the same region. So you worked with him, though, and he trained you? He taught you? He mentored you?
Yes. I wish I could have spent some more years with him. He had so much knowledge and so much to give and to share. Unfortunately, it was just too short.
And had he been in the insurance business his entire life? Was that his?
Yeah, since 1963.
So you had said that. Oh, my goodness. That's a long period of time. I imagine the insurance business, or has it? Has the insurance business changed?
It's changed a lot over the years, that's for sure. What's nice is technology has changed. So State Farm is a great company. As a matter of fact, just today, we're upgrading some computer systems in the office. But they're constantly providing us with the best software that there is. We are national. State Farm has been around since 1922.
Wow.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah, long time.
And we know what we're doing.
I would think so. That gives you a lot of chance to try different things as well. So is it a franchise operation? How is it a corporate office and then you run? I'm not sure how it's structured.
Yeah, I'm the agent, so I own it and operate it, and then I employ 3 employees.
Oh, terrific! And you've had those folks with you for a long time?
They all have a lot of experience, that's for sure. Steve has been with me 12 years. He celebrated the 1st of February. Jennifer will celebrate 9 years with me in July, and Brendan will only be with me for 3 years, but he's been in the industry over 25 years. We've known each other for quite some time.
So you've got a great crew, and you guys you sell and offer, is it auto, home, life, all of the above in terms of insurance?
Yeah, we actually represent 92 products.
Oh,
it's amazing.
My gosh.
A lot of people just think that we're auto, but no, we're business and disability, hospital income, life insurance.
I had no idea.
I know. A lot of people don't know.
And is that, do you end up making choices about which products from the State Farm portfolio you're going to offer? Or if you're a State Farm agent, you offer all of it and it's a given? And How does that work?
Absolutely. Our customers come in and we review their policies and we show them everything that we have to offer. And of course, it's their job to decide whether they're going to purchase it or not.
Right.
The people that are really benefiting the most are the people that are coming in to review their policies. They are looking at their coverages. They know the coverages that they have. And when there's a loss, that's the first thing that they do is call us and say, do I have that coverage? Oh, yeah. If you have a basement that's full of water or even full of sewage, which is the worst, and you have a backup of sewer and drains, you are happy with your policy. You're happy with the coverages that you purchased.
So it's really important to know the area, to know the kind of experiences and weather experiences or flooding experiences of an area, be able to guide customers a little bit, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I know we've had some crazy weather around here lately, right? And then there's all the flooding issues that have happened with Lake Ontario up on the shoreline. That's, I imagine, has been an issue for some of your clients.
Yeah, there was a lot of happy people last year in March when we had that major windstorm that they were with State Farm, because we responded fast, efficiently, and they were fixing their roofs really fast.
That's fantastic. That's exactly what you want. You can't ask for better than that. So you've been in the community from the beginning. You were born in this community, correct?
Yeah, born and raised. Haven't gone very far.
So that means hopefully that you like it. You're not going to leave us, right?
I do really enjoy the Greece community.
And you're involved. I know you're very involved with the Greece Regional Chamber. And I don't know whether you're... I've never asked whether you're involved with any other organizations, but I know you give us a ton of time. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and I think that it's a testament to you that you support so many events and activities. We just had a Health and Home Expo this past Saturday at the YMCA on Long Pond Road, the Northwest Family Y, and you were one of our gold sponsors and also an exhibitor. And I think that those things, they mean a lot to the community when you're kind of making yourself accessible, but also supporting major community events. What other sorts of things do you get involved in? I know I see your face all over the place. And in fact, somebody said to me as I was walking in, "Oh, I recognized Christina immediately. I've never met her, but as soon as I saw her face, I knew her."
Well, the one thing that could be considered my downfall is whenever anybody asks, I do say yes, I will help you. That's just the way I was born and raised in this good neighbor family. My father always helped everybody, so I'm, carrying on the tradition. Love to help anybody in any way that I can. It's just our nature to be, your good neighbor. It's not just about insurance. It's about the relationships that we have with our customers. We truly, truly care about our people.
That's very nice. So did you know, it sounds like your dad was probably thrilled when you decided to go into the business. Did you always know that you wanted to do that, or was that something that...
Not at all.
Not at all?
I was actually recruited by my father's manager way back when. I have a degree in graphic design, actually.
Do you really? Mm-hmm. I had no idea.
Yeah. I worked for Xerox for many years doing product graphics and computer graphics. I really, really liked my job. But being a State Farm agent has been very rewarding, and I really enjoy helping the people and giving them what they need, in the event of a claim.
Yep, absolutely. So I'm going to have to remember, though, that you've got expertise in the graphic design area. We had no idea that is so completely different. And you worked for Xerox, and that's very different. So you went from a very big environment, right? I mean, especially, I'm guessing at that time, Xerox would have been even larger. Yeah.
Yeah, it's changed a lot over the years, of course. We're talking over 25 years ago that it was.
And were you in a particular part of Xerox when you were in the...
Mostly I worked in Henrietta. In their product graphics and what they call IDHI, the Industrial Design.
Very cool.
Department.
And then you went from that big universe, that big corporate universe, and then suddenly you're in the, in a not only in a smaller environment, a smaller business, but also now you're, for the vast majority of the time that you've been in this business, you're running the show, right? I mean, it's your show, so.
Yeah, it really was culture shock.
I bet it was.
In the very beginning.
Right.
I had a lot to learn about insurance, but through the years, I'm always open to education, taking any classes that I can to further my knowledge, my skills.
So did your dad, encourage you when I've made an assumption, but was he? I have to think he would have been very happy. But did he encourage you when did he know his manager was reaching out and recruiting you?
No,
it
was a surprise to both of us.
Oh wow!
I mean, his manager saw something in me that I would make a great State Farm agent, so that's why he contacted me.
Smart guy.
But it was many, many years. It certainly didn't happen overnight.
Right. Oh, I imagine 92 products. I can't imagine keeping them all straight, because I'm guessing that there's some relation, that they're not exactly completely different products, that in some lines there are going to be variations, and so keeping all that straight is going to be really, really something. And
it
then
can
all
be
those
a challenge
lines.
at times, that's for sure.
I bet it is. Yeah, you really have to. It makes sense that you need to develop that over time, and then you've got to have. I'm guessing you've got a client base that's been developed over a long period of time as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and we
love our clients.
Now, do you work with businesses as well as individuals, or strictly residential?
We sure do. We have many businesses and residential.
So everything,
right?
So anybody can come to you and get coverage. And when people start with you, do they pick up the phone, they call you, how can they get to you?
Through many channels. Of course, my phone number is 225-8400. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me. You can always go through my website, Christina at Breen-Hale. That's my email address. My website is Breen-Hale.com. Well, that's pretty much it. Email, internet, and phone.
Plenty of ways to get to you. And if anybody wanted yet one more way to get to Christina, you can always go to the Grease Chamber website, which is greasechamber.org, and you'll see Christina's face. She's always got red in the background, red on. That's sort of her signature thing, right? And it goes along with the logo for State Farm. And you'll see that she's a featured business on our homepage. In fact, on all the pages, and all of that links to a featured business page on our site, and also ultimately to her website with all of her contact information. So greasechamber.org is always also an option in terms of connecting with her if for some reason you've missed all the others. Now, I just want to talk a little bit about the upcoming community awards, because this is the second year that you are the presenting sponsor for the Grease Regional Chamber's Community Awards Gala. It's actually an evening event. And we were so grateful to you for doing it last year, and very happy that you've renewed your commitment for this year.
And I was happy to do it last year. The location at the Marriott is absolutely beautiful. It's a perfect place for a gala.
Yeah, the Marriott does, and they do a great job, don't they? They do an awesome job. One of the things that folks may not realize is that the Chamber, even though we're a business organization, and we certainly give business awards, but at this particular event, it's called the Community Awards because we really give awards in all kinds of fields. So I don't think there are quite a lot of awards. So I don't think between the two of us we're going to remember them all, and we don't necessarily want to list them for everybody. But we've got awards like is it the Business Professional of the Year, the Young Business Professional of the Year, Senior Citizen of the Year. We've got awards in things like environment, arts and culture, education, which is so important to everybody, and history. There's a First Responder of the Year, and then we also give some building awards. I know we recognized last year both existing as well as new construction in the area. So it's a very robust list of awards. And Christina, I know that you participated in the past on the selection committee, and that you're going to do so again. And the one thing I wanted folks to know was that we've got a deadline coming up. Folks can nominate anybody in those categories, and they can find the information on our website, and they can nominate up until I think we had on some materials the 2nd of March, but we have extended it until the 6th of March. So if you go to greasechamber.org, once again, you'll see Christina's face, a Christina Breen-Hale on our materials, and you'll see that there's a nomination form, and we really hope that you nominate somebody and participate in the process, because it's so important, I think, to recognize achievements in the community.
And we're looking forward to all the nominations going through that selection process. So keep them coming.
Keep them coming. before I let you go, I just want to ask, you've been in business for so long, and you are such a successful businesswoman, and I know how hard you work. You're somebody who really has a very strong work ethic, and obviously you're also very committed to the community. Do you have any advice for young or just new business people that are starting out?
The biggest thing you have to think about is just stick to it. You can't just put up a sign and think that you're going to be a successful business. You really have to get out there and network and talk to everybody. Let everybody know what you do, how you do it, how you can get a hold of them, how you can do business together. It's very important. And it's very hard. The first 5 years, very, very hard. It takes a lot of work and dedication.
Which is I think exactly what you've got, a lot with a ton of talent. And we're so lucky to have you in the town of Greece, in Monroe County, in the greater Rochester region. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Christina Breen-Hale, State Farm agent, State Farm Agency. Check her out at greasechamber.org, and thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Sarah. And of course, I just want to have a shout out to my team. I couldn't do it without them. They are a huge part of my organization.
Thank you so much, Christina.
Take care.
Stick around. Coming up next, we have Alan Taylor, the owner of the new Chick-fil-A that's opening up in our region. You won't want to miss this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Are you looking to buy a home but wishing you had a few more dollars to make your dream a reality? Home ownership may be more within your reach than you thought. Genesee Regional Bank, GRB, has partnered with the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce to bring you valuable information on financial resources and support available to first-time home buyers in the greater Rochester region. Affordable home ownership will be presented from 8 to 9:30 a.m. on Thursday, March 29th at Ridgemont Country Club in Greece. Come meet affordable housing and mortgage experts, plus hear about home buying assistance they can help you access. The event is free and open to the public, and breakfast is on us. Visit greasechamber.org or call 585-227-7272 to register.
If you're looking to market and grow your business, make new business connections, and give back to the community in a meaningful way, consider joining the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. We're the largest suburban chamber in Monroe County, and we offer networking, education, marketing, insurance, and advocacy. You do not need to live or work in Greece to join. Our members come from throughout the region. In short, we're better together, and together, we're moving business forward. Visit greasechamber.org or call 585-227-7272 to join today.
We're in one of the strongest markets we've seen in a decade. Now is the time to make your move. Our team at Sharon Realty is ready to help you prepare for this thriving spring market. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or build, the opportunities are endless. Buyers can afford more with interest rates at record lows. Sellers can get more money than ever for their houses in the seller's market. And our builders can design your dream home. We're here to guide you through the process so you can capitalize on these opportunities too. Visit us at SharonQ.com and call us today at 900-1111.
WYSL.
And we're back. I'm Sarah Lentini, and you're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by GRB, Genesee Regional Bank. And I'm delighted to welcome my next guest, the owner of the new Chick-fil-A that is opening in the town of Greece, the first one in this region, Alan Taylor. Welcome, Alan.
Well, thank you, Sarah, for having me, and thank you, Bob. Thank you. It's an honor to be here, so thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. So we are. Everybody is wondering. We're seeing this great building that's just about done now on West Ridge Road,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
What's the timeline? When's the grand opening?
Well, weather permitting, tentatively we are looking at April 5th, but I'm just saying right now because of our weather here in Western New York that we should be opening in April. So really excited, just very overwhelmed in a good way by
Yes.
the reception that we've received. So
Everybody's excited. Everybody. I got to tell you. And some of it's, also just so excited about the experience they've had in other communities and finally having somebody, in the region. And you are the owner, right? This is a franchise, correct?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, I'm honored that Chick-fil-A selected me. And, it was a process, which we'll talk about. But absolutely, I'm the owner, and I'm excited to serve Monroe County, this community. Just really looking forward to day one where we can just start serving chicken sandwiches and seeing the smiles.
And I want to hear more about that. But before that, I want to hear a little bit about you because, I'm sure people, I don't know that people know you yet, but hopefully we'll get to know you a little bit. And you're not originally from Greece. You're not originally from Monroe County, but you've lived here a long time, and this is your home, right? You were telling me earlier how Greece really embraced you when you came into the region.
Oh yeah. Western New York, Greece specifically, adopted me. So
nice.
I think I've been through enough winters now where I'm official.
Yeah.
But I was born in rural Virginia, Emporia, Virginia. My father joined the military, so we traveled quite a bit, got to see the world and get a panoramic view of how things were. And I moved, when I left college, I moved here back in 1999. Still remember July 22nd, 1999.
You really remember the day.
I remember the day. That's
wow.
Yep. And it was beautiful. And there were festivals and birds were out. Bees were buzzing. And then winter hit. But I'd lived in other places. But, I tell people all the time, you don't get used to it. You just prepare like the winters. And so it was great. I met my wife here.
Oh, nice.
Our children attend schools, and I just fell in love with Western New York, with Greece, Monroe County. I mean, I love it here.
Yeah, it's your home. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and part of my journey, which we'll get into in terms of my Chick-fil-A journey, but I was in banking, so this is just a move now into something else. This is my new assignment, and this is for keeps. This is all I want to do for the rest of my life.
How lovely. Yeah, I'm a transplant as well, but I've been here a long time, so I completely know what you mean. And I actually think sometimes, there's even more passion and even more bonding when you picked a home, and also when you've lived other places. I've also lived a whole lot of other places, and I'm actually making the choice to be here because I love it and I really appreciate what's here.
Yes.
This is a phenomenal community with a history, a history in all sorts of areas that make it very unique and very appealing. And I even though I can grouse a little bit about the weather, at the end of the day, first of all, I've never seen a city clean up snow like this area, right? Everybody in the area does a great job. But then also, I like having 4 seasons. I don't know if I would like it if it was always beautiful, always hot and sunny. I think I like having the change. So you were in banking, long time?
Yeah, I mean, so over 15 years. And you mentioned about like the seasons. We used to have many, I think we call them snowbirds. Many people would leave and go to Florida, and some people would leave and then they'd come back after a few years and say, man, I just really miss the seasons. Right. And you hit on something else. Like I lived growing up in a military home. We were nomads. Every couple years we were moving, and the toughest part of the move is the move, packing up all your stuff.
Oh, yeah. Tell me.
It was cool because you go to a new place and you can be whoever you want to be. And I tell you, I lived in so many places that when I came here, I was truly able to appreciate Western New York, upstate. And having lived in those places, I fell in love here. And because I could compare it, it's a great place to raise a family. Yep. And I always say that if it weren't for the winters that we go through, how could you truly appreciate spring?
That's right. So, exactly. So you said it was quite a journey, and obviously a bit of a transition. So you went from banking, and you're going, from banking into owning your own business, and not just any business. I mean, this is really a unique model. This Chick-fil-A. I mean, the more that I've learned from you and from others about it, the more the intrigued I am. So how old is it? And tell us the story of Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah. And so Chick-fil-A, S. Truett Cathy, who is the founder of Chick-fil-A, is a great man, a lot of vision, natural entrepreneur. I think he started his early career. He was a young man, and he would pull a wagon with iced down Cokes. And he figured out early that, if I could buy him 6 for a quarter, then I could make after I sold 6 for a nickel each, then I could make a nickel profit. And so he was an early entrepreneur, and he had a restaurant that he started in 1946. It was called the Dwarf Grill, and it was a 24-hour establishment. And it was back in Hapeville, Georgia, near outside of Atlanta, where There was the Ford Motor Company in Delta at the time.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So
a lot of customers, I imagine,
a lot of customers,
right? Yep.
and it was 24 hours at the time, but they were closed on Sundays, a day of rest. And he famously said that if you have to work 7 days, then you're in the wrong business.
Ah.
And it took him 20 years, but he created a recipe, which we still have today.
A secret recipe,
that's
right?
That's right. Yeah, I couldn't give it to you if I wanted to. I don't have that, and no one has that.
Right.
In 1967, the first Chick-fil-A opened, and
oh, wow.
Since then, grown to over 2,000 locations. And
2,000.
Yeah, and I mean it is extremely competitive. There's thousands of applications per week. To become an owner-operator. And, I feel so honored and fortunate to be able to be the first in Monroe County. And, from what I've heard from the public and everyone around, I think that...
people are excited.
Yes.
People are very excited.
Yes.
I mean, people have been talking about... Yeah, of course.
So,
but, I mean, everybody's excited.
Yes,
The community.
yes.
I have to tell
Such
you.
a demand.
Yes. And, of course, because, being the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce and being right down the road from you, we've gotten tons of questions about this, and all kinds of folks wanting to know when you're going to open, what the stages of the construction are. And it's been a good year, if not longer, that everyone's been, very anxiously awaiting. So I think you're going to have a few people at your door at your grand opening, and we want to be right there with them. So going through this process that you said took like 8 years, and you said there are tons of applications all the time, but just to put a little underscore on this, not everybody that wants to open a Chick-fil-A or buy a Chick-fil-A franchise is necessarily selected to do so. It's really a selection process, a careful one, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an extreme vetting process. And so Chick-fil-A is family-owned, privately held, and Chick-fil-A's, didn't need my money. They're interested in chemistry, commitment, character, and competency. And so there's a vetting process to see, hey, are you the individual that's going to be a positive influence in your community?
Yep.
Mr. Cathy, would he want his children to work for Alan Taylor? And that's a question that those in selection have to ask and have to be able to answer that. And so as we talked about, I mean, Chick-fil-A is very big. We are very big on community involvement. And so I wanted to align with an organization that did have those same values in terms of impacting your community in a positive way, that believed in continuous improvement, mentoring. And, for me, I probably wouldn't have had the guts to maybe do it on my own, but Chick-fil-A really, if you're selected and you're fortunate enough, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. They give you a ton of tools.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
And just the support is tremendous. And if I might, so 8 years ago, I did an expression of interest in 2010. In 2011, I was called and I drove to New Jersey to have the first initial conversation. And what should have been about a 5-hour drive, I got hit with a blizzard on the way.
No.
So it took 12 hours of white-knuckle driving to get there. And I had such a commitment. They told me this later. There was such a commitment and passion for upstate that...
they were impressed.
Yeah, and they remembered me. And so we picked it back up 2.5 years ago, and here I sit as the local owner and operator.
That's great. And it seemed to me that there was a quote that you had given me that really, because there's a whole culture. I mean, really what I'm understanding is that Chick-fil-A it's not just great food. It's not just great service, although it'd be great to talk a little bit about both of those things for people like me who've never been to one. But anybody who's been to one raves about it. But there was a great quote that you gave me. Is it people before profits?
Yeah, people before profits. We sell chicken, but we're in the people business. And that's, one of the reasons we're closed on Sundays is, that's a day of rest. That's respect. Mr. Cathy had always said that we would always be closed on Sundays because that's a day for you to recharge and to spend time with your family.
Yep.
And, I respect that. Family is very big to me and community involvement. And so, that means a lot. And for the individuals that are going to be working at the Chick-fil-A at 2140 West Ridge Road, that's a commitment that I make to them. And we're going to pour into them. We want to help develop them as individuals, help them find their passion and their purpose. So I'm just really, really excited because, there's things, I've worked in corporate America, and there's things you can and things you can't do. And Chick-fil-A just gives me an opportunity really, really to influence in a positive way those within the community, those that I'm working with, and to open doors of opportunity for those that maybe even never knew those doors existed.
That's right.
So I take it as a supreme responsibility to kind of pick that torch up and light a path for others.
How lovely. That's great. In case you're just joining us, you're listening to Alan Taylor, the owner of the new Chick-fil-A that's opening in Monroe County in the town of Greece on Westridge Road. And you're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce sponsored by GRB, Genesee Regional Bank. So tell me a little bit more, Alan, about the actual experience for people like me who've never actually been to a Chick-fil-A and have heard everybody rave about it. So what's the menu like? What's the experience like?
Oh, yeah. Well, we pride ourselves on our remarkable service. I mean, I think sometimes that gets lost when you go into other places, and we at Chick-fil-A, we take pride in serving the community that we're in and serving and creating a wow experience for everyone that walks through those doors. So you can expect a personal connection when you walk in, and to be greeted and to feel like you're home and amongst family when you come into Chick-fil-A Greece. And our menu, a lot of people don't realize it's very labor intensive, which is why we're hiring more than 100 individuals right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
More than 100.
More than
That's
100.
quite a lot.
Because we take, it's labor intensive. We take a lot of pride in what we do. Most things are made from scratch.
That's great.
Hand breaded, hand filleted chicken, hand spun milkshakes, fresh squeezed lemonade.
Nice.
And then our salads are hand chopped every day. And
Wow.
so you getting hungry?
I'm getting hungry. I didn't eat any lunch. You're killing me.
And so the menu, we're known, you can never go wrong with our delicious chicken sandwich, hand breaded, seasoned to perfection.
With that secret
pressure
recipe
cooked.
that nobody
With that
gets.
secret recipe, that's right. On a buttered roll with
Buttered
two
roll.
pickles.
Ooh.
Or you can get a multigrain. And we also have salads, which is one of my favorites. I'm trying to,
Give a mixture of choices. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so we have our superfoods with kale, broccolini, and roasted
really?
nuts. Yep. And we also have our waffle fries, which everyone loves the waffle fries.
I love
frosted lemonade and then regular lemonade. So
hand squeezed.
Hand squeezed. That's right. So there's something on the menu for a variety of tastes and
real milkshakes. Did I hear milkshakes?
Oh yeah, hand spun milkshakes.
Hand spun milkshakes.
Yeah. I think.
Wow.
At our busiest, when we're extremely busy, there's normally a person that they're dedicated just to making milkshakes, hand-spun milkshakes, because, people love them. I love them. And, I'm going to come back and I'm going to feed everybody here. And so we'll see what you guys think.
What's it? When the next show, we can have you on.
That's right. So when we open, I'm going to come back, Bob and the guys, and we're going to take care of you. We're going to feed you.
Nice.
Appreciative for you guys having me on today.
I'm delighted that you're going to be as close as you are to the Greece Regional Chamber office, because you're right down the road from us. Okay. But I might be in trouble.
No, you won't be in trouble. We are we're pretty healthy, and food's delicious. So if anything, you'll be the envy of all your friends.
Oh yeah, and I could pick up a little takeout on the way home, maybe.
There you go.
Even nicer. So it's looking like a big building. Are there different spaces in this building?
Yeah, so we're over 5,000 square feet.
Wow, nice size.
We do, I think our dining room right now, we can accommodate upwards to 120 individuals inside. We have close to 60 parking spaces.
Very nice.
And we also, one of the things that I'm learning, I'm dealing with apps more. I don't know if you guys deal with apps. I'm learning more in terms of apps. I'm stepping into the 21st century. And so we do have our Chick-fil-A One app, and it's amazing because quite a few people actually use the app, and we encourage you to use the app because you can earn treats. And so with that, we have an actual area where if you're using the app, you can come in, and we're one of the restaurants, I think one of the first to kind of have this layout, but you can actually come right through
and pick up your food
right
awesome.
Using the mobile
so you can
One
order
app.
Online is what this is.
You got it. You got it right
wonderful.
through your phone.
And can you pay too? You can order and pay online,
Absolutely.
So you really don't have anything to do but pick up your food?
Absolutely. We make it
very
very
nice.
easy
very
to stop
nice.
in and see us. And I'm really looking forward to meeting everyone who walks through the doors and introducing myself. It'll be an extension of my family. So
wonderful.
I'm just really excited to start serving.
Yeah. Well, we're very excited that you're so close to your grand opening.
Yes.
I know that on or about is a way to say this, right?
We'll
On or about.
Spring, we'll say April.
In April. Mm-hmm. April's right around the corner.
That's it.
And we will be there with bells on. And if people have any interest in learning more, is there a way to reach you? Or if anybody might be interested in exploring job opportunities, is there a place to send them?
Yeah, and thank you for that, Sarah. I really appreciate it. Right now, you can go, we have a Facebook page.
Awesome.
You go to facebook.com/CFA Greece, or you can go to zippyapp.com/biz/CFA Greece. And many people also, we have a link on Indeed. You can actually go through Indeed. Really excited. And even if you went to Chick-fil-A.com, you typed in Greece, you would be able to pull up our information. So really excited. 2140 West Ridge Road, April, this spring. Really excited to start serving the community.
Such a pleasure to have you on, Alan, and thank you so much for making us one of your first stops.
Thank you.
Introducing yourself to the community, and we are just delighted that you're in the town of Greece and that you've made the commitment that you have. And we know, and we wish you much success. And I don't think you're going to need any luck. I wish you all the luck in the world, but I don't think you need it. And I think they made a great choice in Alan Taylor for the first Chick-fil-A in Monroe County, and I think one of the first in upstate New York. So awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Alan Taylor.
Thank you.
All right. We've got two more wonderful guests coming up today. Both of them are from GRB, Genesee Regional Bank, Mike Pulver and Laura Smith. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
WYSL Avon Rochester.
Are you looking to buy a home but wishing you had a few more dollars to make your dream a reality? Home ownership may be more within your reach than you thought. Genesee Regional Bank, GRB, has partnered with the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce to bring you valuable information on financial resources and support available to first-time home buyers in the greater Rochester region. Affordable home ownership will be presented from 8 to 9:30 a.m. on Thursday, March 29th at Ridgemont Country Club in Greece. Come meet affordable housing and mortgage experts, plus hear about home buying assistance they can help you access. The event is free and open to the public, and breakfast is on us. Visit greecechamber.org or call 585-227-7272 to register.
WYSL.
And we're back. I'm Sarah Lentini, and you're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by GRB, Genesee Regional Bank. And I'm delighted to welcome my next guests. And as it happens, they're from GRB, Mike Pulver and Laura Smith. And we're delighted to have you with us. Welcome, Mike and Laura.
Very excited to be here. Thank
Terrific.
you.
Oh, you're welcome. You. You're welcome. So you guys are very involved in the home ownership and mortgage side of the bank, correct?
Correct.
You want to tell me a little bit about what you do with the bank specific to that area, and a little bit about, maybe how long you've been there?
Sure.
Mike, we'll start with you.
Sure. Sounds good. So, well, thanks again for having us here. And just by way of background, I've been with GRB for about 4.5 years. Been in the mortgage business. I'm going to say this out loud for 29 years.
Oh, no.
And
that's a big number,
It
Mike.
is a big number, yeah.
But still a 2.
But still a 2, correct.
Right. Yeah.
Correct.
Next year you're in trouble.
Right
now you're okay. Yeah.
So we are, as you shared, we're a local community bank, and we provide mortgage loans for first-time home buyers, people that are building homes, people that are looking to refinance their current homes. And we also do a lot of work in regards to, providing folks that, for instance, might need down payment assistance. Mm-hmm. We work with various housing groups that provide grants and so forth. So we're a comprehensive mortgage lender. We're local here to the community.
Yep.
And we're actually the 4th largest residential lender in the Rochester area.
So tell me just a little bit. You said you've been in the business for 29 years, and this is in the banking business or in the mortgage business for 29 years?
In the mortgage business for 29 years, yes.
So you really have a tremendous amount of experience and a long view when it comes to mortgages and mortgage origination, and always for a bank?
Yes, I was. So I spent, as I mentioned, the past 4.5 years with GRB. I actually spent a good chunk of my career with Wells Fargo.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Worked for HSBC for many years, so worked for some larger banks as well.
That's wonderful. And so it sounds like all those places here in the Rochester region?
Correct. I did actually live in downstate New York back in the early 90s, but Rochester's my hometown.
Nice, yeah. We were talking about that a little earlier on the program. I'm a transplant, and my previous guest, Alan Taylor from Chick-fil-A is also a transplant, but we're both like passionate transplants who are even probably more committed to the community, right? We've both been here a long time, but, it helps sometimes to go away, experience a different community, and come back to really appreciate what's here, because this is a great place. So now, Laura, what your role is also specific to home ownership and mortgages at the bank, or is that a little bit different?
Well, I do a couple of different things for Genesee Regional Bank. One of the things that I am proud to be a part of is the mortgage origination piece.
Nice.
So I've been a mortgage loan officer for 25 years. Very long time.
I would never, you guys, what's going on? Fountain of Youth, both of you. My gosh, would never have guessed that. No.
So I one of the roles of my job is to get out with some of our commercial clients and meet with their employees and talk with their employees about banking, whether it is retail banking or mortgage banking or just general banking questions. We find that today people don't use the branch very often because everything is electronic. You can do all of your banking on your smartphone or online, and people often have banking questions, but it's either inconvenient to go to the branch or they don't know who to speak with and they're not sure what to do. So we like to be able to come to an employer's workplace and say hello and introduce ourselves and talk a little bit about who we are and what we do and highlight some of the services, the great mortgage products and the great banking products that GRB has to offer.
Isn't that terrific? I had no idea you did that. So if I as an employer or I as a business owner would like to have you guys come out and talk a little bit, whether it's for me or my employees or both, all I have to do is pick up the phone?
Absolutely.
So how do I reach you to do that? And do I ask for you, Laura? Are you the person who does this? Or?
I am the person that does this. So in the month of February, we had a couple of luncheons that we attended, and we went right out to the place of business, and we ordered some food, and we brought some literature, and we engaged with the employees.
Oh, nice.
And so many of the employees had banking-related questions, whether it be, how do I become a first-time home buyer? What's my first step? How do I enroll in these grant programs? I need a home equity loan. What about my mobile banking?
Wow.
And we're able to guide them and assist them with any questions that they have, whether it's, retail banking, mortgage banking, or something as simple as, how do I get grant money to update and make my home more energy efficient for the home that I own currently.
So there are a lot of resources I'm hearing just by virtue of the questions and the topics that you're covering,
Absolutely.
Which is fantastic. And, I never thought about it, the fact that, we've become so online, so focused on doing everything, through the internet, that we've kind of lost a little bit of the human connection. And there's a purpose, there's a purpose to that human connection.
Right.
It's kind of hard to have a dialogue when you're doing everything online. So this is fantastic. And what's nice is that you're it's not just that you're able to talk to a human being about this, but you'll actually come to the place of business.
Yeah.
So that's really lovely, the really, really lovely personal touch, personal service. So, I asked your colleague, Mike, a little bit about his background. How about you? Are you from the area? And obviously you've been doing this a little bit longer than I thought. So how'd you get into the business?
Yeah, I sort of fell into banking. I was born in Rochester, went to school in Rochester. I needed a job. Banking looked like fun, so I got a job as a bank teller, and then quickly fell in love with the idea of mortgages and started off as a mortgage processor and then became a mortgage loan officer. And I really enjoy meeting with people and hearing their story and helping them achieve the American dream of homeownership. There's no greater job out there.
It really, I've always thought this, and I have to think it's still true, that not only is it a dream that, that has to do with the comfort and the satisfaction of owning your own home. Having the ability to kind of shape it the way you want, whether you're designing it from scratch and building new, or whether you're building an existing home and you're decorating it and you're gardening and you're really making it your nest, right? Not only is it lovely for all those reasons, home ownership, but isn't it still a major stepping stone or a major way to increase a family's wealth, to give a family something that has some value, and a value that increases over time, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It is. I think, just to step back, one of the programs that really is kind of our hallmark is the First Home Club program. And it is a program that's, it's for first-time home buyers, and we do it in conjunction with the Federal Home Loan Bank of New York. But simply stated, it allows someone to save each month over the course of 10 months to 2 years. And at the end of that time period, the state's going to give them $7,500 towards the purchase of a new home. And we, this year we're probably going to have about 100 families that will use that program to buy their first home.
That's fantastic.
So it's just a wonderful program, and it feels good, when you see people close and they're sending cards and notes to their family and their friends and how excited they are. It's just really makes it worthwhile.
That's fantastic. So is that, there must be some qualifications that you need to meet in order to be eligible for that? And is that something that you help people with?
Yeah. Laura's the expert in that, so I'll let her tell you that.
So ideally, we'd love to schedule an appointment with a customer to meet face-to-face, because we really want to make sure we ask questions and answer questions to confirm that they're the right fit for the program. So ideally, the customer has to meet some income limits. So for a 1 and 2 person household, the income limit needs to be $58,720. So your income has to be below that number to be eligible.
Okay, and that's the family income?
That's the household
household
size.
Income.
Yep.
Pardon me. Yes.
Yep. So for a 3+ person household, the income limit is about $67,500. So your income needs to be below that income limit to be eligible. You have to have a 2-year history of full-time employment. You have to have a 620 credit score. And you have to be mortgage eligible at the end of your savings period. So we cover all of that very early. We would not want to enroll you in a First Home Club program and then 10 months down the road say, I'm sorry, you're not eligible for a mortgage. So we thoroughly go through credit, income, debt, credit reports, qualifying to make sure that the First Home Club is the right fit for the customer, but then to also make sure that the customer gets to the finish line.
Yep.
That's the goal, is to be able to qualify for a mortgage at the end of your savings period and close on a home.
And all of that is also to make sure, I'm sure, that people who, get into a mortgage are not in over their heads.
Absolutely.
That they're able to manage the mortgage so that they're not, in a bind and in a bad position, 6, 12 months later. So all of that sounds like a wonderful assistance that you guys provide. So I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the fact that we're really excited. The Greece Regional Chamber and Genesee Regional Bank are partnering, and we're so delighted you guys are going to be offering a wonderful affordable home ownership program that I believe we've scheduled for March 29th, the morning of March 29th, and I think we're looking at like an 8 to 10:30 time frame, and it's going to be at Ridgemont Country Club, such a wonderful location on West Ridge Road in Greece. And I know that you're going to be bringing a lot of your expertise, both of you and possibly some others. Can you tell us a little bit about the program that you're planning?
Sure. So we are delighted to hold an affordable homeownership breakfast at Ridgemont Country Club. And the idea for this breakfast is really outreach. We find that so many people don't know that these programs exist.
Right.
They go
I never
out
heard of that.
and
Yes.
they buy a house, and then after they close, they hear about the First Home Club. Or they go out and they purchase a home, and then after they close, they hear about the City of Rochester grant. And we find that the more we talk about these programs, the more outreach is really needed. We can't sit in a bank and expect people to come into us and ask questions. We've got to go out in the community and spread the word, because there's so many people who are currently renting and would love to become first-time home buyers for themselves and for their family. Homeownership creates such wonderful opportunities. It creates stability. It creates a warmth of where you live. It creates pride.
Yep.
And the breakfast is designed to promote some of this information so that maybe an employee of a company that works at the Greece or that is a member of the Greece Chamber of Commerce may be currently renting and may want to know, okay, how do I take the first step? So this is why the breakfast is designed. We'd love to invite our Greece Chamber of Commerce partners and their employees. If they want to bring friends along, that's fine. We'd love to be able to fill the room so that we can talk a little bit about the benefits that are available in the Rochester area. Our plan is to speak for a few minutes about Genesee Regional Bank and the Greece Chamber of Commerce, and then invite a couple of our partners to talk about their programs. So we'll be speaking about the First Home Club. We'll talk a little bit about the University of Rochester's 333 grant. The University of Rochester is the region's largest employer.
Oh, yes.
And for any U of R employees that want to purchase a home in the city, the U of R has a great program where the U of R will offer $3,000, the city will offer $3,000, and then GRB will offer $3,000.
That's fantastic.
It's a fantastic program, and there's so many U of R employees that just don't even know that it exists.
Yeah. Oh, just getting the word out that's a great service.
Yeah.
So, does the house for the U of R employees, the 333, does the house have to be in the city?
It has to be in the city.
I figured if the city was giving money, they probably wanted it to be in the city. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
No, it's a wonderful program. And does that program still work as a 3-3 program if it's not in the city? Or
it's required to be in the city of Rochester.
So for that one. Okay.
Yeah, there's certain areas of the city, but we'll be able to shed some light and talk a little bit about how that works. And then we've invited some of our partners to come in and talk. So the city of Rochester will be at the breakfast, and they're going to talk a little bit about their grants through the city. For example, did you know that the city of Rochester has a $3,000 HPAP grant that is available for first-time home buyers purchasing a 1- and 2-unit owner-occupied home?
What does HPAP stand for?
Housing Purchase Assistance Plan.
So basically just assistance.
Yeah.
And is it a cash assistance or is it support?
It's a grant.
It's a grant.
It's a $3,000 grant that they can use for down payment and closing cost assistance.
And that's if you don't have to be a U of R employee for that one, right?
Anybody.
That's fantastic.
Anybody's eligible.
That's great.
Yeah, as long as they meet the income limits for the city's program, and we'll have the city talk a little bit about their parameters and their qualifications.
But certainly the income limits that you mentioned earlier, they didn't sound like they were all that low.
Right.
So I would think there'd be quite a lot of people that would potentially qualify for the types of assistance that you're talking about.
Yep.
So that's fantastic.
Yep.
So one of the things that it probably is also worth mentioning is that we're looking. This is just we think it's a great service to the community. Obviously, you guys do. You know your stuff. You've been in this business a long time. There are all kinds of monies and supports and services available that honestly I don't think anybody knows about, or not that many people know about, not enough people know about. And what's really lovely is you guys are sponsoring the breakfast, and the breakfast is free. So that's pretty fantastic. There's, it's wonderful information. It's useful information that at the end of the day could connect you with all sorts of fantastic resources. But then, what's not to love about this? You're also getting a lovely breakfast at Ridgemont Country Club.
Exactly.
So we're really excited. Thank you so much for doing it. I just wanted to come back to you a minute, Mike, and ask if I can impose.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit also about Genesee Regional Bank, because, not everybody knows the story of the bank and, sort of the community focus of the bank. Because the bank hasn't been around forever and ever. It's a relatively new institution here in the Rochester area, right?
Right. So the bank has been in existence since 1996. So we are right now as a bank. We have about 106 employees. We're about a $600 million bank.
Nothing to sneeze at. Yeah,
right,
that's a big bank.
It is a big. So from that perspective, but we are a local community bank. We are Rochester's only local community bank that's based in Monroe County.
Wow.
From that perspective, we provide retail banking, checking, savings, commercial lines of credit. We do a lot of work with business owners as well. Mm-hmm. And I think the most important characteristic of the bank is that we are really a boutique bank that really emphasizes the relationship. And I think that sometimes that gets lost in this day and age of the internet and social media. I mean, we really want to invest in building relationships with our clients. And I'll just give you a real quick example. The month of January, for every mortgage loan that GRB was referred, we provided a $25 donation to the Veterans Outreach Center. Was they're actually a client of ours. We do a lot of work with them, and we just made a donation for, I think it was $1,325, and we gave that to them this past week. So
that's great.
So we are invested in giving back, and that's just an example of what we do.
Yep. Yeah, and you guys are wonderful with us. I mean, one of the things that we're really grateful for is that Genesee Regional Bank is the longstanding, actually, you're the original and founding presenting sponsor of our Small Business Awards, which is such an important event that we hold every year. And it's a perfect pairing because you guys are very committed to small business in the community, as are we. Not exclusively, however, small business is where the volume is. The vast majority of businesses, small doesn't necessarily mean all that small, by the way, but the vast majority of businesses in the community are more in the small business category, and it's great to encourage small businesses on their way to becoming big businesses, and that's really what the event does. So thank you so much. In case you're just tuning in, you're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by GRB, Genesee Regional Bank. We're delighted to have you joining us if you're joining us for the first time. And we are talking with Mike Pulver and also Laura Smith of Genesee Regional Bank, who are both have tremendous expertise in home ownership and affordable home ownership in particular, and are telling us not only about the bank but also a wonderful program that we're going to be putting on in the Greece Regional Chamber and Genesee Regional Bank are going to be putting on together on March 29th. Did I get that date right?
That's right.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah. 8 to 10:30, 8 to 10. Probably 8 to 10 at Ridgemont Country Club, and it's a breakfast with a presentation. The breakfast and the presentation are free. They're a wonderful service to the community, certainly also to Greece Regional Chamber members and member businesses and their employees. And anybody interested can go to greecechamber.org, and you will find information on the breakfast right on the home page. And we hope that you register and come to the breakfast. So. Before I let you guys go, I don't know if everybody realizes that, there's a relationship between a pretty prominent business person in the community and the bank. I'm not sure if he's as active as he used to be your founding father, as it were, is Phil Saunders, is it
Correct.
not?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and that's the name that's on the RIT School of Business, correct?
That's right.
I would say Phil is still, very involved. He, is an active board member. He's very engaged and involved with the business, and still very much engaged in giving back to the community as well.
Yeah, and this was his brainchild, correct?
Yes,
this
it
was
is.
his baby.
Yes, it was.
Starting a bank that, which is the community bank for Monroe County. With some different aspects to the model. Certainly, one of the things that I love is that when you walk into the bank, there are no teller lines, right?
Right.
You're like just sitting down and talking to a person.
Right.
It's really accessible. It's really nice. And I think that is just goes along with you going out to meet with businesses and tell them about services, Laura, and the commitment that you have to the greater Rochester community. So I thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Mike Pulver, Laura Smith.
Sarah.
You're very welcome. Genesee Regional Bank. Now, we hope that you go and check out greecechamber.org and register for this wonderful event, March 29th. Ridgemont Country Club, great presentation, great information, and a wonderful free breakfast that Ridgemont Country Club is going to provide.
We'll see you there.
Look forward to it. That just about does it for today's program. We've had a wonderful group of guests, starting with Christina Breen-Hale, State Farm agent, Alan Taylor, the owner of the new Chick-fil-A that's opening up in the town of Greece in Monroe County, and ending with Mike Pulver and Laura Smith from Genesee Regional Bank. We are so excited that all of them are engaged with the Greece Regional Chamber and the Greater Rochester community. And as you heard on the program, there are several exciting events that are coming up. For any additional information about today's programs or events or offerings or opportunities from the Greece Regional Chamber, please go to greecechamber.org. Again, that's greecechamber.org. Or you can always call 585-227-7272. You've been listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by GRB, Genesee Regional Bank. We hope you tune in for the next edition of Business Voice.
You've been listening to Business Voice. The Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce serves businesses, nonprofits, and individuals throughout the region, focusing on promoting economic and community development and serving as the voice for business. The Chamber offers networking, education, advocacy, community events, and business services. It serves as an important platform for business leaders and citizens to come together in support of common goals.